So today we're going to talk about what I'm going to refer to as either D&D Lite or discount D&D, because this is a game that is based around D&D systems, but it's not licensed by Wizards of the Coast to use Dungeons and Dragons. Today we're talking about Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Solasta is based around using the SRD or System Reference Document for D&D. Basically, it means that you can use the D&D system without officially licensing it because you're not using any of D&D's worlds or lore, anything they have actually built other than the gameplay systems that have been built. You're not using any of their actual IP, but you're using the game systems, the classes, the races, and some of the monsters. That's basically what it is. And Solasta, it features its own story, but it retains a lot of those systems and features from D&D. I would say Solasta, at least for me, it falls right in the middle ground between bad and good. It's so close to being right in the middle of bad and good that it just ends up being kind of meh. I don't hate the game or parts of it. I find parts annoying, but I don't love really anything about the game. Most of the things that I would consider bad about the game are just actually kind of annoying. It's not annoying enough to make me stop playing after 45 hours of playing through it with Mike and Chase, though. Now, let's start with what I think is the most technically annoying thing about Solasta. And it's kind of the same problem that Dying Light 2 had when we played it at launch. Crashes and glitches, especially in multiplayer. And yes, I know Solasta is an indie game. It's the studio's first game, but the game's been out for, what is this? It's going on at least 2 years. It came out in May 2021. Yeah, we're kind of like a year, over a year and a half it's been out, and this is still happening. So when we play, we average about 3 to 4 hour game sessions. Within those play sessions, we will normally have to reload the lobby at least twice. Mostly it's because the game will desync Mike and myself from Chase, who's normally hosting, and our characters will just be standing there while the game tries to move through enemy turns. But there won't be any spell effect or characters moving or anything going on that indicates things happening. It'll be going for Chase, but then it gets to one of us, and yeah, we can't do anything. So we're kind of just sitting there, and when it comes to our turn and can't do anything, and it just won't catch up at all. The Acolyte's not moving.
It's updating for me. It's updating for me, though.
It's not for me.
Mm.
I would just reload, Chase.
Oh. So lame.
Oh, I found my two major complaints about the game.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the worst technical things. There have also been a few glitches where I can't get out of wild shape or cast spells or anything. I can constantly change my shape, but I can't attack or do anything like that. I think I've also gotten stuck in a wall a couple of times. I'm not quite sure though, because we've been playing for about a month on and off. And the glitches, they are less frequent than the desync issues, but they're still there. And they are very annoying because we also have to reload because of that happening. Another thing about Solasta that I'm not really a fan of is the constant use of cutscenes that don't need to be there. I can get it when talking to an NPC or heading into a mysterious manor, but do we really need a cutscene at the top of the stairs in front of the manor just to say this?
Einar's sword. What a sight. Unbelievable.
What a weird old building.
Guys, I moved 2 steps back and, well, it's gone.
What's gone?
This manor. Something weird is going on.
Story of my life.
Weird gets us money and fame.
And then moving 5 feet forward to have another cutscene about getting into the manor, or not being allowed into the manor because we stole their book that was down on a plinth.
Good day to you. My name is Eldorath Smoothtongue, the Master's housekeeper. I see you have purloined some of my Master's property. Might I suggest you put those trinkets back to where they belong?
There is such a thing as too many cutscenes that interrupt the flow of the game, and I think Solasta has too many cutscenes. Yes, there are a good amount of cutscenes that move the story along, but there are also a fair amount where you could just have it as inter-party banter as you're moving through the area. and like just exploring. There are multiple cutscenes that could be combined into like a single cutscene because they are close enough together, like the manor one. And to go along with the cutscene stuff, and I know, like I said, I know it's an indie game, but the models up close in those cutscenes are not great. They're not the worst I've ever seen, but there has been some clipping issues, and sometimes the voice track is off from the mouth movement, or it's just a completely different line said altogether from what is said in the subtitle. And that is kind of off-putting, honestly. I know the game is an RPG. I know that, and I know there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. But when it comes to cutscenes, they should move the story along. Or it should be, you have to focus on this character because you're having a conversation with them. It shouldn't just be there for no reason other than that we're making the characters talk to each other. It should have been for that manor section. It should have been when you're walking up the stairs, your characters are having a little bit of banter. Then when you hit the top of the stairs, you're like, where'd this mansion come from? They should have been as a bit of a banter there. And then as you walk up to the door, that triggers a cutscene to talk to the person on the other side, and that pushes that quest line further instead of what actually happened within the quest line like I showed earlier. There's one other annoying thing that I have to say about the game, and I don't know if it's just us having really bad luck or if the dice rolls are skewed against the party by the computer. We have hit more critical failures or ones than anything. Like, I know there's a lot of randomness in dice, but rolling 4 attacks and getting half of them as critical failures is very unlikely. It is astounding how unlucky we've gotten in fights, and that just makes me feel like the randomness of dice rolls is not like actually there or programmed well into the game. And those are all the things that I would say are bad or like really annoying about Solasta. Most of the other things are just kind of meh. Like, the story is your bog standard fantasy mystery thing. Basically, we found this MacGuffin in a dungeon. One of the dumbasses in the party put it on. Now they can't take it off. Or if they do take it off for any amount of time, they faint. And we have to find the rest of the MacGuffin's pieces to learn more about the evil at the end of the game and use it to defeat the Sorex and their god that are trying to kill all of humanity or destroy the world or whatever. Like I said, it's your bog standard defeat the great evil, do a shit ton of fetch quests, and defeat the great evil. It's bog standard fantasy. The combat is good and bad from, like I said before, it's really either bad luck or the randomness is not there in the dice. The combat is based on D&D combat. It's turn-based, and it is depending on like initiative and everything. And basically, you know how turn-based combat works. You choose who to attack and how you're gonna attack them, and then you make the dice roll. Sure, some of the attacks like Sunbeam and Fireball look really good. They have really good particle effects. And like, we've been able to make a joke out of me using annoying bees as an execution / kill confirm move. Hit him, kill it.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 1 HP. Aww.
You know what it's in range for, right?
You
Bee.
can do it.
Bees.
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 This
Get ready for
briefcase
the
full of bees. Should help.
Bees. 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 Killed by bees.
Uh-huh.
Killed confirmed.
Dragon killed
Yeah,
by bees.
I killed a dragon by bees.
Yeah, I don't
Uh-oh.
know about those things. But there are really a lot of spells and attacks from what we've seen that are just kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, I do like the tactical aspect of the combat, but a lot of the spells and attacks just don't have the oomph to them that it feels like they need. And some of the death animations, I'm looking at you, elementals, take way too long. I don't want to say like everything is bad or meh about the game, because there are some aspects I do like. I do like the combat. I think the combat is fun, especially when you have 3 or 4 of us trying to go and coordinate who we're going to attack and how we're going to go about attacking them, or who we're going to try and get rid of first, and then dealing with all of that. The combat is fun. The story is dumb. There are a lot of dumb lines in the game, but that kind of makes it kind of fun, just seeing how stupid the lines are. And one of the things I do actually really like about the game is the traveling aspect. You're going all around this world, and it's taking you 4, 5, 10 days to get somewhere. And you have to be prepared before you set off, and it doesn't just take you straight there. You have to travel down the roads and go to certain towns and you can stop there, or go and check out a certain thing. If you have NPCs with you, like, you can stop and check some stuff out. But it's like you have to travel and rest, and you might get a random encounter when you're traveling. We've been ambushed by bandits and cultists. We've ambushed cultists and wolves and orcs, and I think an ogre or two. And it's a nice system to help you increase your level, and it actually makes the world feel pretty large. And kind of just having the random encounters keeps things fun, other than like just reading the little side things that your characters do while they're traveling. Like, those are interesting to read sometimes, even if they do get repetitive very quickly. But then you have the breakup with the random encounters, which makes it feel good to travel. Overall, Solasta Crown of the Magister is a decent turn-based D&D light game. I think there are better games in this genre, like, you know, Baldur's Gate 3, which we're using Solasta to kind of kill time till that fully releases. We just don't want to play it in beta, honestly. And Divinity Original Sin 2. But I'm gonna give Solasta and the team at Tactical Adventures credit. This is the first game that they've made as a small independent studio, and it does feel like a decent first step. Now they just need to, I think, refine it more. Maybe it is more refined in the other campaign, but I think they just need to work on refining a bunch of things, because the combat and systems work because they're proven and tested through D&D. But the game's flow and its technical stability could use some improvement. I don't think Solasta is a bad game, but it isn't that good of a game. Like I said, it falls somewhere in the middle ground, right around meh. It's fun to play if you have friends, basically. That's where it falls. If you have friends who like turn-based combat and like D&D, then Solasta is a good game to give a chance. And basically, those are my impressions from the first 45 hours of Solasta Crown of the Magister. If you guys enjoyed this video, then maybe hit that like button, and hopefully you subscribe for more. Or you can also go check out my playlist of my other 10-hour impressions. And here's my last video where I discussed my favorite announcements from the Game Awards 2020. 2022, not 2020, you fucking idiot. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you have a royal day.